Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be looking at my top 3 exercises for prolapse. So if you've got a prolapse and you experience fluctuations in your symptoms during the day, sometimes this can be due to tension in the pelvic floor, and relieving that tension can be really key to helping you feel better during the day and reducing those prolapse symptoms. So the breath work we're going to do here, if you haven't done the Hypopressives breath work, then you can just do it with a lateral breath, which is breathing into the sides, into the back of the rib cage. If you've learnt the Hypopressives breath work, you can go ahead and add that in. But we're going to start off in a really lovely position here, which is a slightly wider leg than hip distance apart. Keep the knees a little bit soft, and we're going to roll all the way over into this kind of really lovely back curl looking up towards the belly button. When we're doing the breathing in and out, as I said, if you haven't done the Hypopressives breath work, just focus on breathing into the sides, into the back of the rib cage. And we're just going to start the breath work now. So if you take a nice big breath in, into the sides and into your back. Take a nice slow exhale. Feel like you've almost rolled over a ball, so you've got a light sort of extension through the back. And again, we're going to inhale and exhale. And then if you've done the Hypopressive breath work, just do one more here. And then you can go ahead and do the breath hold and the rib stretch. But if you haven't learnt that, then just keep with that lovely slow lateral breathing in and a slightly longer but light exhale out. So we know that doing this is creating more synergy between the pelvic floor and the diaphragm. And so basically we're getting the pelvic floor to relax and contract automatically, getting that lovely movement and function through there, which is key to relieving tension. So we're going to do that again. So a nice steady inhale and exhale. Keep that breath going into the sides, into the back of the rib cage. And a nice slow exhale. Keep that exhale nice and light. And if you know the Hypopressive breath work, you know that that's one more before you do the breath hold and the rib stretch. But if you haven't learnt that, then we'll just keep going with that lovely slow lateral breathing. So inhaling, a nice slow exhale, and then we're going to do one more here. Nice slow exhale. Super. Keep looking up towards your belly button. Inhale and exhale. You can visualize your sitting bones just gently widening as you inhale. And then as you exhale, they're softening. And then just keep going with this lovely breathing. So inhale, sitting bones gently widening. And it's this tiniest movement, so it'll just become just aware, possibly of a tiny bit of movement. If you don't feel it, then don't worry. Exhale, sitting bones are softening. And then we're going to do a couple more here. So inhaling, exhale. Feel free to add in the Hypopressives breath if you can do that. And that will really deepen the release here. And then we'll do one more. So a nice slow inhale and exhale. So once you've done this one, we're just going to slowly come down onto the floor. This pose that we're going to do now is really lovely because what it does is it creates a little bit more space between the sitting bones at the back, which these are these bony bits that you sit on at the bottom of your pelvis. And the feet position and the knee position we're going to do naturally kind of creates a bit more space there. So that's really lovely for just naturally releasing tension. And we're going to do the same breath work here. So in quadruped position here, we're going to have our hands directly under our shoulders, fingertips roughly a hand length apart, nice and straight through the back, but you do want to make sure you've got that curve there, that you haven't sort of tucked under like that or tipped up the other way. And then we're going to bring the knees together, and we're just going to bring the toes wide to the sides of the mat, and you can have them tucked up, or if you prefer, you can have them relaxed down like that. And we're going to do the same breathing here, either 5 inhales and exhales. If you haven't learnt the Hypopressives breath, if you've learnt the Hypopressives breath, you can add it in after the third one. And we're going to do the first one, and then we're going to think about the visualizations as well. So a nice slow inhale, so breathing into the sides, into the back of the rib cage. Exhale and lengthen. And again, nice slow breath in. Keep that exhale nice and light. Keep your jaw nice and relaxed as well. And then we're going to do a third breath here. Nice slow exhale. If you've learnt the Hypopressive breath, that's when you're going to add that in. And if you haven't, we're just going to keep breathing together here. So a nice slow inhale. And exhale. Don't let your head drop down. And then we're going to do one more here. So inhale. And exhale. Super. So now we're just going to add in that little visualization with the sitting bones. So if your hands are a little bit sore, your wrists are sore, you can bring your fingertips forwards, or you can make fists so it's so you're kind of slightly higher there. Either is fine. Okay, so we're going to take a nice slow breath in, just imagining your sitting bones just gently widening, and it is very, very subtle. So inhale. As you exhale, they're softening and you're also lengthening through the top of the head. And again, inhale, so that lovely breath into the sides, into the back of the rib cage. Nice slow exhale, sitting bones are softening. And then we're going to do one more breath here. So inhale, sitting bones just ever so gently widening. As I said, it's really subtle, you may not feel anything. And then a nice slow exhale. Sitting bones are softening. And then if you're doing the Hypopressive breath work, just add that in there. And if not, we're just going to carry on. So inhale. Nice slow exhale. And then one more here. So inhale. Keep the exhale nice and light. Sort of imagine the air sort of rising above your head there. Lovely. So what we're going to do now is just come into the elbows down position. Keep the knees together and the feet still wide to the mat. This time you're going to look towards your knees here, pressing up through your hands and your forearms. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, sitting bones widening. And exhale. Breath nice and light. So we're going to do one more breath here. Inhale, sitting bones widening. Nice slow exhale. If you're able to do the Hypopressive breath work, then you're going to add that in now. And if not, we're just going to keep going with that lateral breathing. So inhaling, feeling that breath into the sides, into the back of the rib cage. And exhale. And then we're going to do one more here. So inhale, sitting bones widening. And a nice slow exhale. Keep that breath nice and light. Lovely. And then just swing your legs to the side. We're going to slowly come up here. And the last one we're going to do, so the third little exercise we're going to do today, we're just going to come down onto the floor. Going to have your arms lightly pressing into the floor. Keep your feet not too far ahead because we're going to come up into bridge position here. So bridge is an amazing way to just get the pelvic floor working naturally in the background as well, coming up into that pose. You can deepen that by doing this lateral breathing, and you can then add in another layer of deepening through doing the Hypopressive breath work as well, if you're able to do that. But if not, we'll just do the Hypopressives. We'll just do the lateral breathing, sorry, and yeah, I'll talk you through. So we're going to take a nice slow inhale. As you exhale, feel that length all the way through the top of the head. And again, inhale. And exhale. Lovely. So another breath here. So breathing into the sides, into the back of the rib cage. Nice slow exhale. So at this point, if you do the Hypopressive breath work, you do the breath hold and the rib stretch. And we're also going to tip up. So we're going to inhale, tip up, draw up, or you're holding your breath if you're doing the Hypopressive breath work. Inhale. And exhale. And then one more inhale here. And exhale. So we're going to keep holding up in this position here. Inhale, slowly breathing into the sides, into the back of the rib cage. And a nice slow exhale. So as we're inhaling, the pelvic floor is softening. As we're exhaling, we're getting a nice natural contraction of the pelvic floor. And then we'll do one more breath here. Nice slow exhale. And then if you're going to do the hypopressive breath, you can do that there. But if not, just keep breathing with me here. Inhale. And exhale. And then we're going to do one more here. So inhaling. And exhale. Super. We're just going to come down nice and slowly here. Lovely. And then we're going to tip up, draw up again. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Nice slow breath into the sides of the rib cage, into your back. And exhale. So just one more breath here if you're doing the hypopressive breath work before you do the rib stretch. And otherwise, just keep breathing with me. Keep that exhale nice and light. And then keep breathing. So a nice slow inhale. And exhale. And then one more breath here. And exhale. Lovely. And then we're going to slowly come down. We're just going to bring the knees in towards you here. You can just move your toes around a little bit. Lovely. And then if you just want to slowly roll over and come up. So those 3 exercises are super for just accessing the pelvic floor through breath. Whether or not you can use the hypopressive breath work or whether or not you're just doing the natural lateral breathing, you're going to create this amazing synergy between the pelvic floor and the diaphragm, which will teach your pelvic floor how to relax and contract naturally to get that movement back into the pelvic floor, because often with tension in the pelvic floor, that range of movement just isn't there. So that should really help to improve your symptoms, and if you can add in the hypopressive breath, that'll add another little layer into that. So if you want to know more about that, then head into the beginners playlist or get in touch with myself or one of my team. Let me know how you got in the comments, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.